Number 1. This 1967 Ford Fairlane honestly feels like the kind of classic muscle car that offers the best of both worlds. In my opinion, it combines the timeless styling of a late 60s Fairlane with the performance upgrades that many enthusiasts actually want when they plan to drive and enjoy their cars regularly. And while the seller is upfront about the car being a GT clone rather than an original GT, that honesty actually makes the listing more appealing to me. The first thing that immediately stands out is the 1967 Fairlane body itself. Personally, I think Ford got the styling exactly right during these years. The car has a muscular stance without being oversized, and the clean body lines give it a classic appearance that still looks fantastic today. Unlike some muscle cars that rely heavily on flashy graphics or aggressive bodywork, the Fairlane has a more refined look while still projecting plenty of attitude. One thing I've always liked about Fairlanes is that they often fly under the radar compared to Mustangs. In my opinion, that's part of what makes them special. At most car shows, you'll see countless Mustangs, but a well-built Fairlane tends to attract attention because it's a little less common and a lot more unique. The biggest highlight of this particular car is undoubtedly the brand new 347-stroker engine. Personally, I think the 347 is one of the best small-block Ford combinations ever developed. It takes the reliability and compact size of the classic 302 platform and adds significantly more power and torque. And honestly, a fresh 347-stroker can completely transform a Fairlane. These engines are known for strong acceleration, excellent throttle response, and a deep V8 sound that perfectly suits a classic muscle car. Since the seller specifically says the engine is brand new, the next owner would essentially be getting a fresh power plant ready to be enjoyed. I can already imagine turning the key, hearing that stroker motor come to life, and feeling the car settle into a healthy performance-oriented idle. In my opinion, that experience alone is a huge part of the appeal of classic American muscle. The seller also mentions a brand new C6 automatic transmission, which is another major selling point. Ford's C6 transmission has a legendary reputation for strength and durability. These transmissions were designed to handle serious power, and they remain popular among enthusiasts because of their reliability. Personally, I think the combination of a 347-stroker and a fresh C6 creates an excellent balance. You get strong performance without sacrificing drivability. Whether you're cruising through town, heading to a local car show, or taking a weekend road trip, this setup should feel comfortable and dependable. Another thing I appreciate is the mention of an older restoration. Honestly, I don't see that as a negative. In many cases, an older restoration can actually be beneficial because any major issues often reveal themselves over time. If the car still presents well and continues to perform properly years later, that can be a sign that the restoration work was done correctly. And personally, I sometimes prefer older restorations to freshly completed builds because they've already had time to prove themselves on the road. The seller is also very transparent about the car being a GT clone. In my opinion, that's actually refreshing. Too often, sellers try to make a car sound like something it isn't. Here, the owner clearly states what the car is, allowing buyers to evaluate it based on its actual condition and upgrades. Honestly, for many enthusiasts, a well-built clone can be more enjoyable than an original collector-grade car. Original GT models often carry significantly higher prices, and owners may be reluctant to drive them regularly. A clone, on the other hand, gives you the appearance and personality of the performance model without the pressure of preserving a rare factory original vehicle. Another thing I love about cars like this is their versatility. This Fairlane sounds like the kind of car that could fit multiple roles. It could be a weekend cruiser, a local car show participant, a fun highway driver, or simply a garage-kept classic that comes out on sunny days. And honestly, that's what makes many classic cars truly enjoyable. They aren't just investments or museum pieces, they're meant to be driven. What I personally appreciate most about this listing is its simplicity. The seller isn't trying to overwhelm buyers with exaggerated claims. Instead, the focus is on the key facts: a fresh 347-stroker, a brand new C6 transmission, a solid older restoration, and a clean GT-inspired appearance. That straightforward approach gives me confidence that the car is being presented honestly. The asking price of $29,000 also feels reasonable to me considering the cost of building a stroker motor, installing a new transmission, and maintaining a classic car. Anyone who has priced engine builds recently knows that performance upgrades alone can become expensive very quickly. And when you factor in the classic Fairlane body style, the GT-inspired look, and the fresh drivetrain, the overall package starts to make a lot of sense. What I personally love most about this car is that it sounds like something you can actually enjoy. It doesn't sound overly modified, overly delicate, or overly complicated. Instead, it sounds like a straightforward American muscle car with enough power to be exciting and enough reliability to be practical. Overall, in my opinion, this 1967 Ford Fairlane represents a very appealing combination of classic style and modernized performance. The fresh 347-stroker engine, brand new C6 transmission, GT-inspired appearance, and honest presentation make it sound like a car that was built to be driven rather than simply displayed. And honestly, that's exactly the kind of classic muscle car many enthusiasts are searching for today. Number 2. 1966 Ford Thunderbird. This 1966 Ford Thunderbird represents one of the finest examples of Ford's personal luxury car era, combining elegant styling, powerful V8 performance, and an impressive collection of premium factory options. Finished in striking Tahoe turquoise metallic with a matching turquoise interior, this Thunderbird captures the bold design language of the mid-1960s while delivering the smooth and refined driving experience that made the model a symbol of American luxury. Under the hood sits Ford's 390 cubic inch FE Series V8 engine, rated at approximately 315 horsepower when new. Known for its strong torque output and effortless highway performance, the 390 was a perfect match for the Thunderbird's grand touring mission. Power is sent through a 3-speed automatic transmission, providing smooth shifts and relaxed cruising characteristics. Rather than being designed as an all-out muscle car, the Thunderbird focused on delivering power in a refined and comfortable manner, making it equally at home on long-distance road trips or local weekend cruises. One of the most iconic features of this generation Thunderbird is its famous swing-away steering column. When the driver opens the door, the steering wheel automatically moves aside, making entry and exit easier while showcasing the futuristic engineering Ford used to distinguish the Thunderbird from competing luxury cars. Even today, the feature remains one of the most recognizable and conversation-starting details found on a mid-60s Thunderbird. This particular example is exceptionally well equipped with factory luxury options. Power steering and power brakes help make the large coupe surprisingly easy to drive, while factory air conditioning enhances comfort during warm weather cruising. Additional luxury features include power seats and power door locks, amenities that were considered highly advanced for the era and reinforced the Thunderbird's upscale market position. The exterior styling is enhanced by several highly desirable Thunderbird features. The Landau hardtop configuration adds a distinctive formal roof appearance that became one of the defining visual characteristics of luxury coupes during the 1960s. Rear wheel skirts contribute to the car's sleek, uninterrupted side profile, while the wire-spoke wheels add an elegant touch that perfectly complements the Thunderbird's premium image. Visually, the Tahoe turquoise metallic paint is one of the vehicle's strongest attributes. Bright factory colors were a hallmark of the 1960s automotive industry, and this turquoise finish captures that spirit beautifully. Combined with the matching turquoise interior, the car presents a coordinated factory-style appearance that is increasingly difficult to find today. The color combination highlights the Thunderbird's sculpted body lines and extensive chrome trim, ensuring that the car attracts attention wherever it goes. The seller reports just 55,923 miles on the odometer and describes the vehicle as being in excellent condition with a clean title and no significant known issues. The low mileage, attractive presentation, and extensive option list suggest that this Thunderbird has been carefully maintained throughout its life. Cars from this era that retain both their original luxury features and strong cosmetic condition often become increasingly desirable among collectors seeking authentic examples of Ford's luxury flagship coupe. The 1966 model year was the final year of the fourth-generation Thunderbird, often referred to by enthusiasts as the Flairbird. Many collectors consider this generation one of the most elegant Thunderbird designs ever produced due to its balanced proportions, sophisticated styling, and extensive list of luxury features. It represented the peak of Ford's effort to blend performance, comfort, and innovation into a single personal luxury vehicle. Overall, this 1966 Ford Thunderbird offers an outstanding combination of classic American V8 power, distinctive styling, factory luxury equipment, and exceptional visual presentation. The desirable color combination, Landau roof, swing-away steering wheel, wire wheels, and extensive comfort features make it an appealing choice for collectors and enthusiasts seeking a well-equipped vintage cruiser that remains both enjoyable to drive and impressive to display. This 1966 Ford Thunderbird is located in Lewisburg, West Virginia, and is currently being offered for sale at an asking price of $32,500. Number 3. 1967 Plymouth Belvedere. This 1967 Plymouth Belvedere is far from an ordinary classic Mopar. What started life as a mid-sized Plymouth has been transformed into a purpose-built street and strip machine featuring one of the most intimidating naturally aspirated Hemi combinations you're likely to find in a vintage muscle car. Finished in British racing green over a lightweight black vinyl interior, this Belvedere blends understated appearance with extraordinary performance, creating the kind of sleeper that can surprise almost anything it encounters on the street. According to the seller, the car has only accumulated a few hundred miles since the completion of its latest engine build and remains in excellent mechanical condition. At the center of this build is a legendary 426 Hemi that has been bored and stroked to an astonishing 483 cubic inches. Built by Rhine Performance of Gary, Indiana, the engine reportedly produces approximately 750 horsepower and was professionally dyno tested, with documentation available for interested buyers. The build features a lightweight aerodynamic crankshaft, premium connecting rods, forged pistons, beautifully ported Indy cylinder heads, and a Dominator intake manifold. Feeding the massive Hemi is a 1200 CFM Dominator carburetor, a setup designed to support serious airflow and maximize horsepower throughout the RPM range. A large solid lifter camshaft gives the engine its aggressive personality, producing the kind of rough, idle, and brutal power delivery expected from a true race-inspired Mopar. Supporting systems include a high-volume oil pump, an EDS aluminum oil pan with swing pickup, external oiling provisions, electric fuel pump, high-capacity fuel lines, and a pressure regulator fed from a dedicated race fuel cell. The result is a drivetrain package engineered to withstand hard launches, high RPM operation, and sustained performance use. Exhaust duties are handled by large 2¼ ceramic-coated headers connected to electric exhaust cutouts. This setup allows the driver to choose between a more manageable exhaust note for cruising or unrestricted flow when maximum performance is desired. Combined with a massive displacement Hemi, the sound is likely nothing short of thunderous when the cutouts are opened. Power is transferred through a highly desirable Hemi-spec 4-speed manual transmission equipped with a Hurst shifter. A Ram 9.5-inch double-disc clutch and lightweight aluminum flywheel help handle the substantial torque output while improving engine responsiveness. Unlike many high-horsepower builds that rely on automatic transmissions, this Belvedere retains the driver engagement and raw mechanical feel that only a 4-speed muscle car can provide. The rear axle setup was chosen with performance as the primary objective. A 3.70 rear gear ratio provides strong acceleration while still allowing some street usability. According to the seller, with the proper tires installed, the car is capable of lifting the front end during hard launches, a testament to both the power output and the effectiveness of the chassis setup. The suspension system has been extensively upgraded to support the engine's tremendous performance potential. The car features heavy-duty torsion bars, Hemi-spec rear springs, adjustable 90-10 front shocks, adjustable rear drag shocks, traction bars, frame connectors, and a pinion snubber. The sway bar has been removed to maximize weight transfer during acceleration, a common modification on serious drag-oriented vehicles. These upgrades work together to improve traction and chassis rigidity while helping the car launch effectively under hard acceleration. Braking is handled by upgraded heavy-duty drum brakes at all 4 corners. While not as modern as a disc brake conversion, the system remains consistent with the vehicle's period-correct performance character. Additional drag racing equipment includes a line lock system, race-oriented gauges, and a memory tachometer that allows the driver to monitor performance data during aggressive driving sessions. Visually, the car remains surprisingly restrained considering the performance hiding beneath the hood. The body is described as very nice and finished in an attractive shade of British racing green. The rear quarter panels have reportedly been carefully modified to accommodate 8-inch wide slicks, yet the work was done so subtly that it is virtually undetectable from the outside. This attention to detail helps preserve the classic Belvedere appearance while allowing room for significantly larger rear tires. Inside, the lightweight premium black vinyl interior continues the car's performance-focused theme. The cabin appears purpose-built without being stripped beyond recognition, maintaining enough comfort and classic character to remain enjoyable during street use. The relocated battery and fuel cell help optimize weight distribution while freeing up space under the hood for the massive Hemi engine package. The car rides on classic Magnum 500 wheels fitted with BF Goodrich Radial T/A tires, a combination that perfectly complements the aggressive Mopar styling. The wheel and tire package provides an authentic muscle car appearance while maintaining street-friendly manners when not running dedicated drag tires. With only a few hundred miles on the fresh 483 cubic inch Hemi build, professional engine documentation, a 4-speed transmission, extensive suspension modifications, and an estimated 750 horsepower on tap, this 1967 Plymouth Belvedere represents a serious performance machine built with high-quality components throughout. Offered at $79,000, it is aimed at enthusiasts who appreciate authentic Mopar muscle and want a car capable of delivering both show-quality presence and breathtaking straight-line performance. This is not simply a restored classic, it's a meticulously built Hemi-powered monster that embodies the raw spirit of American muscle at its absolute peak. Number 4. A radically upgraded 1964 Ford Galaxie 500 that has been transformed from a traditional full-size cruiser into a serious high-performance street and strip machine. While many Galaxies from this era are restored to factory specifications, this example takes a completely different approach, utilizing a turbocharged 408 cubic inch Windsor V8 and a collection of heavy-duty drivetrain components designed to handle substantial horsepower. The result is a classic Ford that retains its iconic 1960s appearance while delivering performance capabilities far beyond what the original engineers ever envisioned. The centerpiece of the build is a 408 cubic inch Windsor stroker engine, a power plant well known in Ford performance circles for its ability to generate massive torque and impressive horsepower. Rather than relying solely on displacement, the builder has taken things even further by incorporating an 80mm turbocharger utilizing a blow-through carburetor setup. This combination allows the engine to benefit from forced induction while maintaining the traditional carbureted character that many classic car enthusiasts appreciate. Properly tuned, a turbocharged 408 Windsor is capable of producing extraordinary power levels, transforming the Galaxie from a comfortable cruiser into a vehicle capable of serious acceleration. Supporting the engine is a rugged top-loader 4-speed manual transmission. Ford's top-loader transmissions have earned a legendary reputation among racers and performance enthusiasts due to their strength, durability, and ability to handle significant horsepower. The seller notes that the transmission features upgraded input and output components, suggesting it has been prepared to withstand the demands of the turbocharged power plant. Combined with the 4-speed manual gearbox, the car offers an engaging and highly mechanical driving experience that puts the driver directly in control of the available power. Power is transferred to the pavement through a Ford 9-inch rear axle, one of the most respected rear-end assemblies ever produced. Equipped with heavy-duty 35 spline axles, the rear end has been built to survive aggressive launches and high-horsepower applications. The Ford 9-inch is often considered the gold standard for performance builds because of its incredible strength and wide aftermarket support. Its inclusion here further reinforces that this Galaxie was built with performance as a primary objective rather than simple cruising. Visually, the 1964 Galaxie remains one of Ford's most attractive full-size designs. The clean body lines, long profile, and distinctive styling cues of the mid-1960s give the car a timeless appearance. What makes this particular example especially appealing is the contrast between its classic exterior and the modern performance technology hidden beneath the sheet metal. To the casual observer, it may appear to be a nicely restored vintage Ford, but enthusiasts will quickly recognize that this car is something far more serious. The seller emphasizes that significant money and time have been invested into the build, and the listed components certainly support that claim. Turbocharging a classic V8, upgrading the transmission, and strengthening the rear axle require substantial planning, fabrication, and expense. These are not simple bolt-on modifications, but rather the foundation of a carefully assembled performance package intended to handle serious power reliably. From my perspective, this is one of the more interesting Galaxie listings because it offers a combination that is not commonly seen. Many classic Ford builds rely on naturally aspirated engines, but the addition of a large turbocharger gives this car a much more modern performance character. The 408 Windsor provides plenty of displacement for strong low-end torque, while the turbocharger adds the potential for explosive top-end power. Combined with the 4-speed manual transmission, this setup likely delivers an exciting and highly engaging driving experience. Located in Hinsdale, Massachusetts, and offered at $25,000, this 1964 Ford Galaxie 500 appears to present significant value considering the performance components involved. Purchasing and assembling a similar turbocharged drivetrain package today would require a considerable investment of both money and labor. Overall, this Galaxie is best suited for enthusiasts who appreciate classic Ford styling but want performance that can compete with far newer and much more expensive vehicles. It is not simply a restored classic, It is a purpose-built performance machine disguised as a vintage full-size Ford. Number 5. 1967 Pontiac GTO. This 1967 Pontiac GTO represents the kind of no-expense-spared restoration that rarely appears on the market, combining genuine GTO pedigree, extensive metal replacement, a rebuilt 400 cubic inch V8, and meticulous craftsmanship throughout virtually every inch of the vehicle. Often referred to as one of the cars that helped define the American muscle car era, the 1967 GTO remains among the most sought-after Pontiacs ever produced, and this particular example has undergone such an extensive restoration that the seller describes it as essentially a new car in almost every respect. With only around 800 miles driven since completion, the vehicle presents as a fresh build intended to deliver the appearance, feel, and driving experience of a showroom-quality classic muscle car. What immediately sets this GTO apart is its authentic 242 VIN designation, confirming that it is a genuine factory GTO rather than a Lemons clone or tribute car. In today's collector market, authentic GTO identification is extremely important because true factory examples continue to command stronger values and greater enthusiast interest than converted vehicles. The car is finished in fire bronze metallic, a rich burgundy-toned metallic color that highlights the sculpted body lines and aggressive styling that made the 1967 GTO one of the most attractive muscle cars of its generation. According to the seller, the paint was completed using high-quality primer, sealer, base coat, and clear coat materials, producing a deep finish that changes character under different lighting conditions. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of this restoration is the complete replacement of virtually every major body and chassis component. Rather than patching rust or repairing damaged sections, the restoration reportedly involved replacing the entire floor structure, trunk floor, rocker panels, wheel housings, rear quarters, doors, fenders, tail panel, cowl sections, and numerous additional sheet metal components. The result is a body structure that reportedly contains no patch panels and no significant welding repairs, an accomplishment that required enormous amounts of labor, precision fitting, and financial investment. The seller even claims the panel alignment and body gaps may exceed original factory standards, which is a bold statement considering the reputation of the restoration work described. Under the hood sits the original YS code 400 cubic inch Pontiac V8. While the seller notes that the engine originally belonged to an automatic transmission application rated at 335 horsepower, the engine has since been rebuilt and upgraded. The cylinders have been bored .030 inch over, compression readings are reported at approximately 160 psi, and a mild performance camshaft has been installed to improve power delivery and provide a more aggressive idle. The seller estimates output at over 360 horsepower, giving the car the type of strong street performance expected from a properly built GTO. According to the description, the engine pulls hard above 2,500 revolutions per minute and delivers the kind of acceleration and exhaust note that muscle car enthusiasts typically seek. Backing the engine is a Muncie 4-speed manual transmission, one of the most desirable gearboxes available in a classic Pontiac muscle car. The transmission has reportedly been rebuilt with new seals, shift forks, and tail shaft components, while the drive shaft has been balanced and fitted with new universal joints. Power is transferred through a Posey traction rear axle, helping maximize traction and making full use of the rebuilt engine's torque output. The car also benefits from numerous mechanical upgrades and replacements intended to provide reliability and confidence on the road. New brake drums, complete brake assemblies, brake lines, emergency brake components, power brake booster, fuel system components, engine wiring, weather stripping, engine mounts, battery, ignition system, and distributor have all been installed. Stainless steel 2.5-inch dual exhaust further enhances both performance and sound while maintaining a classic Pontiac muscle car character through the use of factory-style exhaust manifolds. The driving experience is described as exceptionally refined for a classic muscle car. According to the seller, the vehicle exhibits no rattles, vibrations, squeaks, or driveline issues. The rebuilt suspension and chassis reportedly allow the car to glide smoothly down the road while maintaining excellent road manners and confident braking performance. Power steering further enhances usability, making the car more enjoyable during low-speed driving and extended cruising. Inside, the black interior has been completely renewed and complements the fire bronze metallic exterior perfectly. The restoration included replacement upholstery, trim materials, and interior components, creating a cabin that reflects the quality of the exterior and mechanical restoration. The overall presentation appears designed to retain the original look and feel of a 1967 GTO while eliminating decades of wear and deterioration. An interesting detail is the presence of a factory air conditioning condenser. While the compressor is not currently installed, much of the foundation for future air conditioning completion already exists. The cellar also includes approximately half a gallon of the custom-mixed fire bronze metallic paint, a valuable addition should future touch-up work ever become necessary. What makes this GTO especially noteworthy is not simply the parts installed, but the level of attention invested throughout the build. The seller identifies himself as a veteran marine and automotive technician with more than 50 years of experience and describes a maintenance routine that includes repeated oil changes using premium synthetic racing oil and zinc additives despite only 800 miles of driving since the restoration. That level of detail suggests the vehicle has been maintained with the same care that was applied during the rebuild process. Number 6. This 1968 Ford Galaxie Fastback honestly feels like one of those classic American cars that offers a lot of character for not a lot of money. In my opinion, the Galaxie is one of Ford's most overlooked full-size performance platforms because it often lives in the shadow of Mustangs, Fairlanes, and Torinos. But enthusiasts who know these cars understand just how impressive they can be, especially when equipped with a big block V8 and the sleek fastback body style. The first thing that immediately grabs my attention is the fastback design. Personally, I think the 1968 Galaxie Fastback is one of the best-looking full-size Fords ever built. The roofline flows beautifully into the rear deck, giving the car a sporty appearance despite its large size. It has that classic late 60s muscle car influence while still maintaining the comfort and presence of a full-size cruiser. And honestly, that's what makes these cars so interesting. They offer the best of both worlds. You get the roominess and comfort of a large American car, but the fastback styling gives it a much more aggressive personality than most full-size sedans of the era. Under the hood sits a 390 cubic inch V8, and in my opinion, that's one of the strongest selling points of this car. Ford's 390 FE engine has always been respected for its torque and durability. These engines aren't necessarily about screaming high RPM performance. Instead, they're known for producing strong low-end power that makes a heavy car feel effortless on the road. I can easily imagine this Galaxie pulling away from a stoplight with that smooth, deep V8 rumble that only a classic big-block Ford can provide. Cars like this were built for long-distance cruising, and the 390 is perfectly suited for that role. The seller mentions approximately 80,000 miles, which honestly sounds reasonable for a vehicle that's nearly 60 years old. Personally, with classic cars, overall condition and maintenance matter much more than mileage alone. A well-maintained Galaxie with 80,000 miles can often be a better car than a neglected example with far fewer miles. One thing I appreciate about this listing is the seller's honesty. They openly mention that the car needs shocks and will likely need a radiator in the near future. In my opinion, transparency like that is always a positive sign because it helps potential buyers understand exactly what they're looking at. And honestly, neither of those repairs sounds particularly intimidating for someone interested in classic cars. Shocks are routine maintenance items, and radiators are fairly common upgrades on vintage vehicles. These don't sound like major structural or drivetrain problems. The seller also notes that the car is currently on the road and runs and drives, which is a huge advantage. Personally, I would much rather buy a classic car that is actively being driven than one that's been sitting untouched for years. Running and driving cars allow you to enjoy them immediately while addressing smaller issues over time. Another thing that stands out is the mention of some cosmetic damage where the vehicle was scratched. Honestly, while nobody likes seeing scratches on a classic car, I don't view that as a major concern compared to rust, frame damage, or serious mechanical problems. In fact, for someone looking for a driver-quality classic, a few cosmetic imperfections can actually make the car less stressful to own. You can enjoy it without constantly worrying about keeping it in perfect show condition. One thing I've always liked about Galaxies from this era is their road presence. Modern cars today are often designed to be efficient and aerodynamic, but a 1968 Galaxie has an unmistakable presence. It's long, wide, and unmistakably American. And honestly, people notice cars like this everywhere they go. Whether you're pulling into a gas station, attending a local cruise night, or simply driving through town, a fastback Galaxie naturally attracts attention because they aren't something you see every day. The fact that the seller is open to offers also makes this car interesting. At an asking price of $12,000, it already feels relatively affordable compared to many other big-block classics on today's market. And if there's room for negotiation, it could potentially become an even better value. Personally, I think this car would appeal to someone who wants a classic Ford they can actually drive and enjoy rather than a highly restored showpiece. It sounds like a solid cruiser with a strong foundation, a desirable V8 engine, and one of the most attractive body styles Ford offered during the era. What I love most about cars like this is that they represent a different chapter of American automotive history. Everyone talks about Mustangs and Camaros, but full-size performance-oriented cruisers like the Galaxie tell an equally important story. They were designed for comfort, style, and effortless highway travel while still offering plenty of V8 power. Overall, in my opinion, this 1968 Ford Galaxie Fastback sounds like a very appealing classic driver. The 390 V8, fastback styling, running condition, and honest presentation make it feel like a car with a lot of potential. Sure, it needs a few mechanical updates and has some cosmetic imperfections, but those issues seem relatively minor compared to the strengths of the vehicle. And honestly, for someone looking to get into classic Ford ownership without spending a fortune, this Galaxie could be a very interesting opportunity. Number 7. 1963 Pontiac Grand Prix. This 1963 Pontiac Grand Prix is a classic personal luxury coupe from one of Pontiac's most celebrated design eras, combining powerful V8 performance, distinctive styling, and a driver-quality presentation that makes it an attractive option for enthusiasts looking for a vintage cruiser they can enjoy immediately. Finished with an older repaint and body restoration, this Grand Prix appears to be a mechanically solid example that emphasizes drivability and character rather than concours-level perfection. At the heart of the car is Pontiac's legendary 389 cubic inch V8 engine, one of the most respected power plants of the early 1960s. The 389 played a major role in establishing Pontiac's performance reputation and became the foundation for many of the brand's most famous muscle-era vehicles. Known for its strong torque and smooth power delivery, the engine provides the kind of effortless acceleration and highway cruising ability that made full-size Pontiacs so popular during this period. Whether driving through town or cruising on open roads, the 389 delivers the unmistakable sound and feel of classic American V8 performance. The engine is paired with an automatic transmission, creating a comfortable and relaxed driving experience. The automatic setup complements the Grand Prix's original mission as a sporty luxury coupe rather than a stripped-down performance machine. Drivers can enjoy the power of the big Pontiac V8 without the demands of constant shifting, making the car especially enjoyable for long-distance touring and weekend cruising. According to the seller, the vehicle is mechanically sound, which is often one of the most important considerations when purchasing a classic car. A mechanically healthy drivetrain allows the next owner to focus on enjoying the vehicle rather than immediately tackling major repairs. For many collectors and hobbyists, a driver-quality classic that can be used regularly offers significantly more value than a project requiring extensive mechanical restoration. One of the standout features of this Grand Prix is its original white interior. Preserving original interior components for more than 6 decades is becoming increasingly uncommon, and surviving factory interiors often add authenticity and historical character to a classic vehicle. The white upholstery provides a striking contrast and reflects the upscale image Pontiac intended for the Grand Prix model line. During the early 1960s, the Grand Prix was positioned as a premium personal luxury coupe, offering higher levels of trim, comfort, and style than many other vehicles in Pontiac's lineup. The exterior has undergone bodywork and paintwork in the past, although the seller notes that the restoration is older. Rather than presenting as a freshly restored showpiece, the vehicle appears to offer an honest driver-quality appearance. Cars in this category are often appealing because owners can enjoy them without constantly worrying about preserving a flawless concours finish. Small imperfections become part of the car's history and can make ownership more relaxed and enjoyable. The 1963 model year is especially significant for the Grand Prix because it featured some of Pontiac's cleanest and most elegant styling. The long hood, formal roofline, hidden rear wheel design cues, and restrained use of chrome created a sophisticated appearance that stood apart from many competitors. Pontiac designers successfully blended sporty proportions with luxury-inspired details, helping establish the Grand Prix as one of the most stylish personal coupes of its era. Unlike many later muscle cars that focused heavily on straight-line performance, the early Grand Prix emphasized a balance of power, comfort, and prestige. It was designed for buyers who wanted V8 performance wrapped in a more refined package, making it an excellent grand touring vehicle for its time. Today, that combination continues to attract collectors who appreciate classic American styling and comfortable road manners. Overall, This 1963 Pontiac Grand Prix appears to be a solid and enjoyable vintage cruiser that offers authentic Pontiac V8 performance, original interior character, and dependable mechanical condition. The legendary 389 engine, automatic transmission, classic styling, and driver-quality presentation make it a compelling choice for enthusiasts seeking a usable and affordable full-size Pontiac from one of the brand's most iconic periods. This 1963 Pontiac Grand Prix is located in Grantham, New Hampshire, and is currently being offered for sale at an asking price of $12,500. Number 8. 1965 Oldsmobile F85. This 1965 Oldsmobile F85 is a solid and affordable example of a mid-1960s American intermediate car, offering classic styling, dependable V8 power, and the kind of straightforward ownership experience that appeals to enthusiasts looking for a driver-quality vintage cruiser rather than a fully restored showpiece. Finished in green over a matching green interior, the car retains much of its original character and presents itself as an honest classic that can be enjoyed immediately while still leaving room for future improvements and personalization. Under the hood sits Oldsmobile's respected 330 cubic inch rocket V8 engine paired with an automatic transmission. Introduced during the mid-1960s, the 330 V8 quickly earned a reputation for smooth performance, strong low-end torque, and excellent reliability. While not as widely discussed as some of the larger muscle car engines from the era, the Rocket 330 remains a favorite among Oldsmobile enthusiasts because of its durability and willingness to provide effortless cruising power. Combined with the automatic transmission, this drivetrain delivers the relaxed driving experience that made American cars of the period so popular for long-distance travel and weekend cruising. According to the seller, the car runs well and remains mechanically sound. A new battery has recently been installed, and the vehicle is equipped with good tires and brakes, suggesting that many of the essential maintenance items have already been addressed. These updates help make the car more roadworthy and provide confidence for anyone looking to drive and enjoy the vehicle rather than immediately begin a major restoration project. The exterior is finished in a classic green paint scheme that complements the body lines of the 1965 F85. This generation of Oldsmobile featured a clean, understated design that blended conservative styling with subtle performance influences. Unlike some of the more aggressive muscle cars that would follow later in the decade, the F85 offered a refined appearance while still benefiting from V8 performance. The result is a car that looks equally at home at local cruise nights, weekend shows, or simply out on the road enjoying a sunny afternoon drive. Inside, the matching green interior helps preserve the authentic mid-1960s atmosphere. The seller notes that the seats could benefit from reupholstering, which presents an opportunity for the next owner to freshen the cabin while maintaining its original style. Despite this cosmetic need, the overall interior remains presentable and consistent with a vehicle that has been used and enjoyed rather than hidden away for decades. One of the appealing aspects of this Oldsmobile is its honesty. Rather than presenting the vehicle as perfect, the seller openly identifies several areas that still require attention. The turn signals, windshield wipers, and radio are currently not functioning, indicating that some electrical troubleshooting will be necessary. Fortunately, these types of issues are generally considered manageable projects for classic car owners and are often less expensive to address than major body or drivetrain repairs. The seller also mentions that the car is in nice condition overall despite these electrical concerns, suggesting that the underlying vehicle remains solid and well preserved. The odometer currently shows approximately 39,000 miles, although the seller cannot verify whether that figure represents actual mileage. As with many classic vehicles from this era, mileage documentation can be difficult to confirm after several decades. Regardless of the exact mileage, the car's condition and mechanical operation are likely more important indicators of its overall value and usability. What makes this F85 particularly attractive is its balance between affordability and potential. Many classic muscle cars and high-profile collector vehicles have become increasingly expensive, placing them out of reach for many enthusiasts. The F85 offers an alternative path into classic car ownership, providing vintage V8 performance, distinctive styling, and a comfortable driving experience at a much more accessible price point. It is the type of car that can be driven, improved gradually, and enjoyed without the pressure that often comes with owning a six-figure collectible. Located in Kalamazoo, Michigan, this 1965 Oldsmobile F85 is offered with a clean title and an asking price of $9,500. Considering its running condition, desirable Rocket 330 V8 engine, automatic transmission, largely complete presentation, and relatively minor list of needed repairs, it represents an appealing opportunity for someone seeking an entry-level classic with genuine character. For buyers who appreciate vintage Oldsmobiles and enjoy the idea of owning a usable classic that can continue to be refined over time, this F85 offers a combination of style, simplicity, and value that is becoming increasingly difficult to find in today's collector car market. Number 9. A classic 1966 Ford Mustang that represents one of the most iconic American automobiles ever produced. Finished in white with a blue interior, this Mustang captures the timeless styling that helped launch the pony car revolution during the 1960s and cemented the Mustang's place in automotive history. With just over 1,100 miles reportedly showing and described as being in excellent condition, this example appears to be aimed at enthusiasts looking for a vintage Ford that can be enjoyed immediately while still offering opportunities for personalization and future upgrades. The 1966 model year marked the final full production year of the first-generation Mustang before Ford introduced a significant redesign in 1967. By that time, the Mustang had already become a cultural phenomenon, appealing to buyers who wanted sporty styling, affordable performance, and everyday practicality. Its long hood, short rear deck, and clean body lines remain instantly recognizable today, making it one of the most sought-after classic cars on the market. This particular Mustang is equipped with an automatic transmission, a popular choice among buyers who prioritize comfortable cruising over aggressive shifting. The automatic setup allows the car to deliver the relaxed driving experience many classic car enthusiasts appreciate, making it equally suitable for weekend cruises, local car shows, and scenic highway drives. Combined with the Mustang's relatively compact size and straightforward mechanical design, ownership tends to be more approachable than many larger classic muscle cars of the same era. One of the most interesting aspects of this listing is the seller's mention of having a substantial collection of additional Mustang parts, specifically for 1965 through 1969 models. For a potential buyer, this could represent significant added value depending on what components are included. Replacement and restoration parts for first-generation Mustangs remain highly desirable, and having access to extra components could simplify future maintenance, customization, or restoration projects. Visually, the white exterior paired with a blue interior creates a classic and elegant color combination that fits the Mustang's design exceptionally well. White paint highlights the clean lines of the body while the blue interior adds a distinctive vintage atmosphere that immediately transports occupants back to the mid-1960s. This combination feels refined without being overly flashy and helps preserve the car's authentic period character. The seller's comments suggest a long history of involvement with classic Ford vehicles, mentioning various other collector cars and a willingness to consider certain partial trades involving desirable vintage Ford models. While the listing itself provides limited technical information about the Mustang, the overall tone indicates that the vehicle comes from an enthusiast who has experience with classic cars and collectible Fords. From my perspective, one of the strongest qualities of a 1966 Mustang is its versatility. It can appeal equally to first-time classic car buyers, experienced collectors, and hobbyists looking for a platform with tremendous aftermarket support. Parts availability remains excellent, mechanical systems are relatively simple compared to modern vehicles, and the Mustang community is one of the largest and most active in the collector car world. That combination makes ownership easier and often more enjoyable than many lesser-known classics. At an asking price of $25,900, this Mustang falls into a segment of the market where buyers are looking for a car they can drive and enjoy rather than a major restoration project. The attractive color combination, excellent reported condition, and inclusion of additional Mustang-related parts may make it particularly appealing to enthusiasts seeking a well-presented example of America's most famous pony car. Overall, this 1966 Ford Mustang offers exactly what many collectors want from a classic vehicle: timeless styling, strong enthusiast support, comfortable drivability, and a direct connection to one of the most important chapters in American automotive history. More than 60 years after its introduction, the Mustang continues to attract attention everywhere it goes, and this example appears ready to continue that tradition for its next owner. Number 10. 1966 Chevrolet Nova SS. This 1966 Chevrolet Nova SS is a genuine super sport model that combines the compact dimensions of Chevrolet's popular Nova platform with a collection of modern upgrades designed to improve performance, comfort, and everyday drivability. The Nova has long been one of the most respected names in the muscle car world because of its lightweight body, clean styling, and ability to deliver impressive performance without the larger size and weight of many intermediate muscle cars. Genuine SS examples continue to attract strong interest among collectors, particularly when they have been tastefully upgraded while retaining their classic appearance. Finished in a vibrant orange exterior with a black interior, this Nova SS presents itself as a car that balances vintage muscle car attitude with practical modern improvements. The sharp body lines of the 1966 model year remain among the most recognizable in the Nova lineup, featuring a simple yet aggressive design that has aged exceptionally well over the decades. The orange paint gives the car a bold presence and helps emphasize the Nova's compact, muscular proportions. Power comes from a V8 engine paired with an automatic transmission, a combination that provides both strong street performance and relaxed cruising capability. While the seller does not specify the exact engine displacement, the Nova's lightweight construction means even a moderately built small-block V8 can provide exciting acceleration and an engaging driving experience. The automatic transmission makes the car accessible to a wide range of enthusiasts while allowing for comfortable operation in traffic and on longer highway trips. One of the most significant upgrades on this vehicle is the addition of power steering and front power disc brakes. These improvements dramatically enhance the driving experience compared to many original mid-1960s muscle cars, making the vehicle easier to maneuver at low speeds while also providing stronger and more predictable stopping performance. For enthusiasts who actually enjoy driving their classics rather than simply displaying them, upgrades like these can make a substantial difference in day-to-day usability. The front suspension has also received attention through the installation of an aftermarket front-end setup featuring a power rack and pinion steering system. This type of upgrade is highly desirable because it modernizes steering response and improves overall handling characteristics. Many classic cars retain the slower steering feel common during the 1960s, but a rack and pinion conversion can significantly sharpen road feel and increase driver confidence, especially during spirited driving or highway cruising. Comfort has not been overlooked either. The car is equipped with air conditioning, an increasingly valuable feature in classic muscle cars. Having a functioning AC system can greatly improve the ownership experience, particularly during summer months or in warmer regions of the country. Many enthusiasts appreciate classic cars that can be enjoyed regularly without sacrificing comfort, and air conditioning is often one of the most sought-after upgrades. Inside the cabin, the Nova retains its factory bucket seats, preserving an important element of the Super Sport package. Bucket seats were a defining feature of many performance-oriented cars during the muscle car era and continue to be highly desirable among collectors today. The black interior complements the bright exterior color while maintaining a sporty and timeless appearance. Entertainment and convenience have also been upgraded with the addition of an aftermarket AM/FM radio and CD player. While many restorations focus solely on originality, tasteful upgrades such as modern audio equipment can make classic cars more enjoyable for owners who intend to spend significant time behind the wheel. The modifications appear to have been selected with usability in mind, rather than dramatically altering the character of the vehicle. The car also rides on aftermarket mag wheels, which enhance both appearance and performance. Mag wheels have been associated with muscle cars for generations and help give the Nova a more aggressive stance while preserving the period-correct hot rod aesthetic that many enthusiasts appreciate. Combined with the upgraded suspension and braking systems, the wheel package contributes to the car's overall performance-oriented personality. The 1966 Nova SS occupies a unique place in Chevrolet history because it arrived before the horsepower wars reached their absolute peak later in the decade. Its compact dimensions and lightweight body made it a favorite among street racers and performance enthusiasts, and those same qualities continue to make Novas highly desirable today. Unlike some larger muscle cars that can feel bulky by modern standards, the Nova offers a more nimble and responsive driving experience while still delivering classic V8 power and unmistakable muscle car styling. According to the seller, the car remains in very good condition and carries a clean title. With just under 25,000 miles shown on the odometer, it appears to have been carefully maintained and preserved. The combination of genuine super sport status, upgraded steering and suspension components, front disc brakes, air conditioning, bucket seats, and attractive styling makes this Nova particularly appealing for enthusiasts seeking a classic muscle car that can be enjoyed regularly rather than simply stored away. Located in Greenwood, Delaware, this 1966 Chevrolet Nova SS is currently offered for $45,500. With its authentic SS pedigree, desirable performance upgrades, comfortable interior features, and timeless muscle car appeal, this Nova represents an attractive opportunity for collectors and enthusiasts looking for a well-sorted classic that blends vintage character with modern drivability. Number 11. This 1976 Chevrolet Monte Carlo LS Coupe honestly feels like one of those classic American cruisers that doesn't always get the attention it deserves. In my opinion, The mid-70s Monte Carlo represents a unique era in automotive history when personal luxury cars were becoming just as popular as traditional muscle cars. And while many enthusiasts focus on Chevelles, Camaros, or Novas, a clean Monte Carlo like this can offer a tremendous amount of style, comfort, and nostalgia for a surprisingly reasonable price. The first thing that immediately catches my attention is the blue exterior paired with the black interior. Personally, I think that's a fantastic combination for a Monte Carlo because it balances elegance and sportiness. Blue paint works especially well on the long, flowing body lines of these cars, while the black interior gives the cabin a classic and timeless appearance. One thing I've always loved about the 1973 to 1977 Monte Carlo generation is its styling. In my opinion, Chevrolet created one of the most distinctive personal luxury coupes of the decade. The long hood, formal roofline, and wide stance give these cars a commanding presence on the road. Even today, they look substantial and unmistakably American. And honestly, that's part of their appeal. Modern vehicles are often designed with efficiency as the primary goal, but cars like this Monte Carlo were designed to make an impression. Everything about them feels larger than life. The seller describes the car as very clean, and from the list of recent work, it sounds like significant effort has gone into maintaining and improving the vehicle. Personally, that's one of the first things I look for when evaluating a classic car. Cosmetic appearance is important, but mechanical upkeep is what truly determines whether a classic can be enjoyed regularly. The fact that the car has received new floors is particularly noteworthy. In my opinion, floor repairs are one of the most valuable structural improvements you can make to an older vehicle. Rust issues can be a major concern on 70s cars, so hearing that the floors have already been addressed is reassuring. The seller also mentions new shocks, and honestly, that's a huge plus for a car designed primarily as a cruiser. Suspension components play a major role in ride quality, and fresh shocks can completely transform how a vintage vehicle feels on the road. And speaking of ride quality, the seller specifically says the car rides like new. Personally, I think that's exactly what you want from a Monte Carlo. These cars weren't intended to be aggressive sports cars. They were built to provide smooth, comfortable cruising while still offering V8-powered American character. The new radiator is another upgrade I appreciate. Cooling systems are critical on older vehicles, especially during warm weather or extended highway driving. A fresh radiator adds confidence and reliability, allowing the next owner to enjoy the car without constantly watching the temperature gauge. The list continues with new wheel bearings and brakes, both of which are important safety-related components. In my opinion, seeing maintenance performed in these areas often indicates an owner who cares about the car beyond simple appearance. The new carpeting is another detail that stands out. Interior improvements can dramatically change how enjoyable a classic car feels. A fresh carpet helps the cabin feel cleaner, quieter, and more complete, enhancing the overall ownership experience. One thing I particularly like about this listing is the seller's description of retrieving the car from dry winter storage. Personally, that's a positive sign because it suggests the car wasn't exposed to harsh winter conditions year after year. Proper storage can make a significant difference in preserving older vehicles. And honestly, hearing that it started immediately and drove home without issues is exactly the kind of real-world feedback many buyers want to hear. It suggests the car isn't just a garage ornament. It sounds like a vehicle that can actually be driven and enjoyed. The clean title and very good condition further reinforce that impression. In my opinion, this Monte Carlo sounds less like a restoration project and more like a ready-to-enjoy classic cruiser. What I've always appreciated about Monte Carlos from this era is their versatility. They can be comfortable highway cruisers, weekend show cars, local cruise night participants, or simply nostalgic drivers that bring back memories of a different automotive era. And honestly, these cars often attract attention because they're becoming less common. While Camaros and Mustangs dominate many car events, a clean 70s Monte Carlo tends to stand out simply because fewer people have preserved them. The mileage of approximately 95,000 miles also seems reasonable for a vehicle approaching 50 years old. Personally, I would be more interested in the maintenance history and overall condition than the exact mileage figure, and this car appears to score well in those areas. At an asking price of $8,000, this Monte Carlo honestly feels like a lot of classic American car for the money. Considering the extensive maintenance, clean title, solid condition, and running status, it seems positioned as an affordable entry point into classic car ownership. What I love most about cars like this is that they remind us that not every classic has to be a six-figure collector vehicle. Sometimes the most enjoyable classics are honest, well-maintained cruisers that can be driven regularly without constant worry. Overall, in my opinion, this 1976 Chevrolet Monte Carlo LS Coupe sounds like a very appealing vintage American cruiser. The clean condition, extensive maintenance work, comfortable ride, and classic 70s styling make it a vehicle that's easy to appreciate. It may not be the most famous muscle car of its era, but it offers style, comfort, and personality in a package that remains both accessible and enjoyable. And honestly, that's a big part of what makes this Monte Carlo so attractive today. Number 12. 1968 Oldsmobile Cutlass F85 Coupe. This 1968 Oldsmobile Cutlass F85 is an exceptionally clean example of GM's intermediate muscle car era, combining big block power, attractive presentation, and a unique blend of originality and performance upgrades. Finished in blue and showing just over 53,000 miles, this Cutlass offers the kind of classic American V8 experience that has made late 60s Oldsmobiles increasingly desirable among collectors and enthusiasts. While originally built as an F85 model, the car has evolved into something much closer to a 442 in both character and performance, making it an appealing alternative to the more expensive factory muscle car variants. Under the hood sits the star of the show, a 455 cubic inch Oldsmobile big block V8. The 455 is widely regarded as one of the strongest engines Oldsmobile ever produced, famous for its massive torque output and effortless acceleration. Unlike high-revving small block combinations that require aggressive driving to access their performance, the 455 delivers instant pulling power from low RPMs, making it perfectly suited for street cruising and highway driving. Whether accelerating from a stoplight or merging onto the interstate, the engine provides the kind of muscular performance that helped define the golden age of American muscle cars. Backing the big block is an automatic transmission that complements the car's grand touring personality. The drivetrain combination allows the Cutlass to remain comfortable and easy to drive while still possessing enough power to surprise modern traffic. According to the seller, the vehicle runs and drives exceptionally well, suggesting that the mechanical components have been properly maintained and sorted for reliable use. One of the more interesting aspects of this particular car is its history. The seller states that it was built by a well-known local business owner associated with Interstate Battery in the Flint, Michigan area. Flint has deep roots in American automotive history, and cars with connections to longtime enthusiasts or respected local builders often carry an added level of interest within the collector community. Rather than being assembled as a budget project, this Cutlass appears to have benefited from thoughtful ownership and quality workmanship over the years. The exterior presentation is described as being in outstanding condition, with the seller rating the paint a 9 out of 10. The blue finish reportedly shows only very minor flaws and presents extremely well overall. A high-quality paint job can dramatically enhance the visual impact of a classic car, and in this case the color highlights the sharp body lines and muscular proportions that made the 1968 Cutlass one of the most attractive designs in the GM A-body lineup. The sculpted fenders, clean chrome trim, and long coupe profile create a timeless appearance that continues to draw attention more than 5 decades after the car left the factory. Inside, the cabin remains largely original according to the seller. Preserved interiors are becoming increasingly difficult to find in classic muscle cars, particularly those that have remained actively driven and enjoyed over the years. The original interior helps maintain the authentic feel of the vehicle while providing a direct connection to the era in which it was built. Rather than undergoing a complete modernization, the car appears to retain much of its factory character, allowing enthusiasts to experience the atmosphere of a genuine late 60s Oldsmobile. The only notable modernization mentioned is an upgraded Kenwood audio system paired with JL audio speakers. This tasteful upgrade provides improved sound quality without dramatically altering the car's vintage appearance. Many classic car owners appreciate discreet improvements like this because they enhance the driving experience while preserving the overall originality of the vehicle. The 1968 model year represented a major turning point for GM's intermediate platforms. The redesigned Cutlass featured a more aggressive and muscular body style than its predecessors, helping establish the visual identity that would define many of GM's most popular muscle cars throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s. While factory 442 models often command significant premiums in today's market, cars like this F85, equipped with a powerful 455, offer much of the same performance and road presence at a more accessible price point. From my perspective, This may be one of the better values among classic GM muscle cars currently on the market. A clean 1968A body with a strong-running 455 big block, attractive paint, largely original interior, and proven road manners offers a tremendous amount of car for the asking price. The combination of muscle car performance, show-quality appearance, and everyday drivability makes it appealing whether the goal is weekend cruising, local car shows, or simply owning a distinctive piece of American automotive history. Overall, this 1968 Oldsmobile Cutlass F85 appears to be a well-built, carefully maintained classic that successfully blends originality with performance. The powerful 455 engine, excellent cosmetic condition, preserved interior, and desirable body style make it a standout example of late 60s Oldsmobile engineering and a vehicle that should continue to attract attention wherever it goes. This 1968 Oldsmobile Cutlass F85 Coupe is located in Genesee, Michigan, and is currently being offered for sale at a firm asking price of $28,500, with the seller also expressing interest in a trade involving a Chevrolet Corvette C6Z06 plus cash if necessary. Number 13. 1978 Ford Granada. This 1978 Ford Granada is a remarkably preserved example of a late 1970s American compact luxury sedan, offering original low mileage, V8 power, and the comfortable driving characteristics that made the Granada a popular choice during its era. Finished in a white exterior paired with a green interior, this Granada reflects the distinctive styling and color combinations that were common during the late 1970s, giving the car a strong period-correct appearance that immediately stands out among modern vehicles. According to the seller, the car remains in excellent condition, carries a clean title, and has no significant mechanical or cosmetic issues reported. Power comes from Ford's dependable 302 cubic inch V8 engine, one of the most successful and long-lasting small-block engines in American automotive history. The 302 earned its reputation through decades of service in everything from passenger cars and trucks to performance vehicles because of its durability, smooth operation, and easy maintenance. In the Granada platform, the engine delivers a comfortable balance of power and efficiency, providing enough torque for effortless cruising while maintaining the relaxed character expected from a personal luxury vehicle of the period. The V8 is paired with an automatic transmission, creating a smooth and easy driving experience that perfectly matches the Granada's intended purpose. Unlike the muscle cars of the previous decade, the Granada was designed to provide comfort, refinement, and everyday usability. The automatic transmission complements that mission by delivering seamless gear changes and relaxed highway performance, making the car ideal for weekend drives, local shows, and long-distance cruising alike. One of the most impressive features of this particular Granada is its reported 30,219 original miles. If accurate, that mileage places the car among the lower mileage surviving examples of the model. Low mileage classics often attract significant attention because they can provide insight into how a vehicle looked and felt when it was much newer. While mileage alone does not determine condition, a car that has accumulated only around 30,000 miles over nearly 5 decades may have experienced considerably less wear than many comparable vehicles from the same era. Visually, the white exterior presents a clean and elegant appearance that complements the Granada's formal styling. Ford designed the Granada with a more upscale look than many of its domestic competitors, incorporating a prominent grille, straight body lines, and refined proportions intended to appeal to buyers seeking luxury-inspired styling without the expense of a full-size premium automobile. The result is a car that still carries a dignified and sophisticated presence today. The green interior further enhances the vehicle's authentic late 1970s character. Color combinations such as white over green were quite popular during the period and helped preserve the car's originality and historical appeal. The cabin likely offers the spacious seating, soft ride quality, and comfort-focused environment that made the Granada attractive to buyers seeking a practical yet upscale daily driver. Given the seller's description of the car as being in excellent condition, the interior has likely been well cared for throughout its life. One of the reasons cars like the Granada are becoming more appreciated by collectors is their rarity. While high-performance Mustangs, Torinos, and muscle cars often receive the majority of attention, many well-preserved Granadas have quietly disappeared over the years due to age, neglect, or use as everyday transportation. Finding a largely original example with low mileage, V8 power, and a clean title has become increasingly uncommon, making cars like this appealing to enthusiasts who enjoy preserving lesser-seen pieces of Ford history. The seller indicates that the vehicle has no significant damage or major problems, suggesting that it is ready to be enjoyed immediately. For buyers who appreciate originality, this can be a significant advantage, as many surviving vehicles from this era have undergone extensive modifications or restorations. This Granada appears to offer a more authentic ownership experience, preserving much of the character that made the model successful when it was new. Located in Marysville, Michigan, this 1978 Ford Granada is offered at an asking price of $10,500. Considering its reported original 30,219 miles, reliable 302 V8 engine, automatic transmission, clean title, and excellent overall condition, it represents a unique opportunity to own a highly preserved example of Ford's late 1970s luxury-oriented compact sedan. For collectors seeking an unusual survivor, a comfortable vintage cruiser, or simply a well-maintained classic Ford that stands apart from the typical muscle car crowd, this Granada offers a combination of originality, practicality, and nostalgic appeal that is becoming increasingly difficult to find. Number 14. A beautifully preserved 1968 Ford Mustang hardtop that embodies the classic American pony car formula which made the Mustang one of the most successful and recognizable vehicles in automotive history. Finished in its original lime gold exterior with a matching green interior, this Mustang offers a distinctive and period-correct appearance that immediately sets it apart from the more common red, black, or blue examples often seen at car shows today. With approximately 50,000 miles showing and described as being in excellent condition, this car appears to be a well-maintained example of a model that continues to attract enthusiasts more than half a century after its introduction. Power comes from Ford's dependable 302 cubic inch V8 engine, one of the most respected small-block V8s ever produced by the company. Known for its reliability, smooth power delivery, and excellent aftermarket support, the 302 became a staple of Ford performance for decades. In a relatively lightweight Mustang hardtop, the engine provides a balanced combination of usable performance and comfortable drivability, making the car enjoyable whether cruising through town, attending local shows, or taking longer weekend road trips. Backing the V8 is a 3-speed automatic transmission that complements the Mustang's easy-going personality. While manual transmissions often receive the most attention among collectors, automatic-equipped Mustangs have their own appeal, especially for drivers who prefer a more relaxed and effortless experience behind the wheel. The automatic setup allows the car to be enjoyed comfortably in traffic while still delivering the unmistakable sound and feel of a classic American V8. One of the standout features of this particular Mustang is its originality. The seller notes that the car remains finished in its original lime gold color, a factory shade that perfectly captures the style and character of the late 1960s. During that era, manufacturers experimented with a wide variety of unique colors, and lime gold remains one of the more memorable choices offered by Ford. Paired with a matching green interior, the car presents a cohesive and authentic appearance that reflects how it would have looked when new. The interior is also described as being in excellent condition, which is an important detail for collectors and enthusiasts. Restoring classic Mustang interiors can be both time-consuming and expensive, so finding a car that has already been preserved well can add significant value. The green cabin likely features the classic dashboard layout, simple gauges, and vintage styling cues that continue to make first-generation Mustangs such enjoyable vehicles to own and drive. The 1968 model year occupies a special place in Mustang history. It represented an evolution of the original design while retaining the clean body lines and compact proportions that made the first-generation cars so popular. The front end received subtle styling updates, while safety and comfort improvements helped make the Mustang more refined than earlier models. Many enthusiasts view 1968 as one of the most attractive years because it balances classic styling with a slightly more mature and muscular appearance. According to the seller, the car has only been driven during the summer months, which may have contributed to its preserved condition. Seasonal use is often a positive sign for classic vehicles, particularly in regions where harsh winter weather can accelerate rust and deterioration. The seller also invites potential buyers to take a test drive, suggesting confidence in the car's overall mechanical condition and roadworthiness. From my perspective, this Mustang's biggest strength is its originality and unique color combination. While modified Mustangs certainly have their place, there is something special about a well-preserved example that still reflects the era in which it was built. The original lime gold finish, matching green interior, 302 V8, and overall condition combine to create a car that feels authentic rather than over-restored or heavily customized. Located in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and offered at $29,000, this 1968 Ford Mustang hardtop appears to be a solid example of one of America's most beloved classic cars. The combination of V8 power, attractive originality, excellent condition, and timeless styling makes it appealing to both seasoned collectors and enthusiasts looking to enter the classic car hobby. Overall, this Mustang delivers exactly what many buyers seek, a classic American icon that is attractive, usable, and ready to be enjoyed on the open road. Number 15. 1992 Cadillac. This 1992 Cadillac represents an affordable entry point into classic American luxury car ownership and offers an interesting opportunity for someone looking for a restoration project, parts donor, or nostalgic cruiser from the final years of Cadillac's traditional full-size luxury era. While the listing does not specify the exact Cadillac model, the vehicle appears to be a complete project car with potential for revival, especially considering its relatively low asking price and reported condition. By 1992, Cadillac was still producing large, comfortable luxury automobiles that emphasized smooth ride quality, spacious interiors, and effortless highway cruising. These vehicles were designed during a period when Cadillac remained one of America's premier luxury brands, competing through comfort, styling, and technology rather than outright performance. Cars from this era are becoming increasingly appreciated by enthusiasts who grew up around them and are now seeking affordable examples to preserve or restore. According to the seller, the vehicle shows 148,259 miles and was last operational approximately 3 years ago. The reported reason for it being taken off the road was a faulty fuel sending unit. If accurate, this could potentially be a relatively straightforward repair compared to major engine or transmission failures, although any vehicle that has been sitting for several years will likely require additional mechanical attention before returning to reliable service. Fuel systems, rubber hoses, seals, batteries, brake components, and cooling system parts often deteriorate during long-term storage and should be inspected carefully. One encouraging detail is that the seller describes the Cadillac as being in generally good condition overall. Assuming the body remains solid and the interior is largely intact, the car could provide a strong foundation for a budget-friendly restoration. Full-size Cadillacs of this period often featured plush seating, extensive power accessories, premium trim materials, and a level of comfort that remains impressive even by modern standards. Preserving those original luxury features can add significant appeal to a completed restoration project. The early 1990s represented an interesting transition period for Cadillac. Manufacturers were beginning to introduce more modern electronics and technology while still retaining many traditional luxury car characteristics such as soft suspension tuning, large body dimensions, and smooth V8 power. Because of this, vehicles from this era often provide a unique blend of classic American comfort and relatively modern usability compared to luxury cars from the 1960s or 1970s. For hobbyists who enjoy mechanical projects, this Cadillac could be especially attractive because the purchase price leaves plenty of room in the budget for repairs and upgrades. At only $1,000, the vehicle costs less than many individual restoration components for older classics. Even if additional work beyond the fuel sending unit is required, the initial investment remains relatively low compared to most collectible American cars. The seller also refers to the vehicle as a historic fixer-upper, which is a fitting description. While a 1992 model may not yet seem historic to some enthusiasts, vehicles from the early 1990s are increasingly entering the collector car conversation as survivors from a rapidly disappearing era of traditional American luxury sedans. Many examples have already been scrapped or neglected, making complete project cars harder to find than they once were. From an enthusiast's perspective, the greatest appeal here is likely the combination of affordability and potential. Whether restored to original condition, revived as a comfortable weekend cruiser, or used as a donor vehicle for another Cadillac project, the car offers numerous possibilities depending on the next owner's goals and mechanical abilities. Located in Frederick, Maryland, this 1992 Cadillac is currently offered for just $1,000. With 148,259 miles, reported fuel system issues, and several years of storage behind it, the car will certainly require work before returning to the road. However, for the right buyer, the combination of classic Cadillac luxury, low entry cost, and restoration potential could make this forgotten luxury cruiser a worthwhile and rewarding project.